Hey Claiborne, it's the Friday after Christmas, so I thought it was an appropriate time to talk about regret. See, Steph and Max got me this Speed Champions Porsche for Christmas as a nod to a story I tell a lot about regrets I have in high school. On a side note, I love the Speed Champions line, but I'm not going to talk about it now because it deserves more attention than that, but one day soon. Instead, let me put together this Porsche and tell a story about why it's special to me. And to do that, I need to go back to high school in Lovington, New Mexico. My sophomore year, I had saved up enough money from a combination of odd jobs and tutoring to finally buy a car. And so my dad took me to Frontier Auto. I was surprised to learn via Google Maps that Frontier was still around, I guess, since it's been nearly 20 years since I was last in Lovington. Anyway, some 20 years or so ago, right before we first got to know each other, I think, I was ready to buy my first car or something. I don't remember the specifics here. Maybe my old car had broken down. I owned a Mazda RX-7 for a while, but I don't remember if it was before or after. For all of our friends viewing that may not be familiar, most kids in Lovington back then started driving at 13 or 14 and got their licenses at 15. Anyway, my dad took me to Frontier Auto. I think he knew the owner and had talked to them beforehand about my goal, and they offered me two cars in my price range. One, a Nissan Pulsar, and the other, a 1973 Porsche 911, not unlike the one I'm assembling. And they were even willing to throw in a second Porsche of the same year that didn't run that I could use for parts or whatever. As you might expect, I decided to buy the Nissan Pulsar because it was newer and I didn't want to drive an old car, or so I thought. My dad told me going in that it was my decision to make, and driving off the lot in my wedge-shaped car that I would probably live to regret the decision that I had made. And all these years later, I'm not quite sure regret is the right word. Knowing what I know now, the right decision would have obviously been a Porsche over a Pulsar, no doubt about it. But I don't think that owning a Porsche in high school would have made me any cooler than owning one now would, and so it probably would have been a letdown anyway. I don't know what happened to the Porsches that they had for sale at Frontier, or what happened to my Pulsar, to be honest. I know that by my senior year I was carless again, so it certainly didn't last through high school. Thinking about it, it would be cool if Speed Champions ventured into modeling cars like the Pulsar and the RX-7. Maybe I'll try to make one. In any case, I'm glad that I got this little homage to the past, and can say I finally set things right and have the Porsche now. I'll see you on Tuesday.